all started when I was born.
I feel
Yeah,
good.
do you watch any yeah.
Or
Do you watch any like Let's Play channels, or do you just watch like commentary or like what videos?
I watch some. I watch the Super Gaming Brothers. They do Let's Plays. They're doing Halo 1 right now. I haven't watched that though
Okay.
because I'm like I just played through this on my own channel. I don't really care to watch it again.
Yeah.
I do watch Chugga Conroy sometimes. He's doing Twilight
Okay.
Princess.
Twilight. Oh, I want to play Twilight Princess too. That one I never beat, unfortunately.
I beat the Wii version, but I haven't beaten the HD version. I own it, but I haven't beaten the HD version.
Well, it's not much different.
Yeah, well, still haven't beaten it. Wait, I thought
Well,
you didn't like
I
Zelda.
think
Now you want to do a Zelda?
what I said, there are a handful of Zelda games I enjoy: Minish Cap, Spirit Tracks, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword.
That's like the most puzzly one.
Is it?
Yeah, like the world itself is
I
a
don't remember
puzzle
it
in that
being.
one.
Skyward Sword has a lot of puzzles in it.
Yeah.
That one seemed easier to me.
I mean, it's a good one. I like it a lot.
Anyway, I think this channel should have more wacky games that aren't already beloved games.
Name one.
Momodora Reverie of what's it called? Right. Reverie under. No, that's not that one. Yeah, Reverie Under the Moonlight.
If you
That's a
like
good
it
one.
so much, then why don't you play it?
I will.
I'll believe it when I see it.
And we played Roller Coaster Tycoon 3.
Yeah.
That's not the most beloved.
Is it not?
I think Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 and 2, or 2, is more beloved. I don't think a lot of Roller Coaster Tycoon fans prefer that over Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. But I love 3. I think that one's great.
I mean, is 3 just not like the second one but more?
Well, the first and second games are like 2D. They're like pixelated, and they're what's that word? What's that word? Isometric. They're very isometric and pixely.
Mm-hmm.
And the third game goes in 3D, and a lot of people didn't like that. They liked the original a lot better.
I can kind of understand that.
Yeah.
There's definitely been like other franchises that I think look. Well, granted, I can't say about this one because I haven't played it, but there are definitely franchises that like at least aesthetically looked a lot better in the second dimension.
Mm-hmm.
I'm struggling to think of one off the top of my head, but I know they exist.
Yeah.
Like Street Fighter. I think Street Fighter looked a lot worse once it jumped to 3D.
Ooh, I played a lot of Street Fighter 4 when I was young, though.
Well, I'm not saying like gameplay wise. I'm not saying it's worse. I'm just saying like aesthetically.
Oh yeah, no, I get that. I'm not gonna argue with that. I think all those fighter games do look better when they're like 2D sprites for the characters. Some of them, sometimes they just look weird when they're in 3D.
Yeah, so a lot of them just were never like when they came up with like the ideas and like the moves and stuff. They weren't made with 3D in mind. So when you try to translate them to 3D, it doesn't look right.
Yeah. Also, like Street Fighter 4, I think looked good, but the like new Street Fighter 6, I think that one looks weird. That one looks not right to me for some reason.
I don't remember what Street Fighter 6 looks like. I remember really not liking how Street Fighter 5 looked. Especially like Ken.
Yeah,
Ken
I
had
think
very,
it was
like,
5 and 6.
He had like very Play-Doh-y hair.
Let me see. Street Fighter 4. It looks fine. I think it looks good. I think it has good style to it. Let me see. Street Fighter 5. It's similar, but there's like, it feels like they're trying to be too stylistic.
Yeah.
The thing. Street Fighter 6, I remember looking worse. like really bad.
The amount of Street Fighter 6 I've seen can be summed up in yesterday when they showed off some brief footage of like new characters coming to the game,
Hmm.
or I guess returning characters. I don't know. It was a weird ad. It kept like cutting to this guy in a locker room, and he would like see his reflection, and then he would see like himself cosplaying as these characters.
Oh,
I'm not really sure what they were
okay.
going for. I don't know if that's like a reference to something in Street Fighter, or I was just really
I
confused
have
the
no
whole
idea.
time.
Yeah, Street Fighter 6 just tries way too hard. Definitely.
I don't think I've ever actually played a Street Fighter, or if I have, it wasn't for very long.
They're good. I liked them. But I was never big into fighting games.
Yeah, that's fair. You gotta be like a
I was
specific
more
type of
into
person.
like, yeah, I just kind of grew up playing other games, I guess, like platformers.
Yeah, the only fighting game I ever really got into was Smash, but it was when I was a kid I liked it because it was more of like a party experience, and then I got into it at the fighting game when Ultimate came out, and I had a roommate who really liked it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I grew up with like Ratchet and Clank though. Those were great games.
I've only played one Ratchet and Clank game. It was the remake. I did not care for it.
It's not the best one.
That's what I've
Definitely.
heard. If I'm ever gonna give that franchise
I
another
think
try,
it is good.
oh, sorry.
I think I played through it like 3 times though. Because there is like New Game Plus, and you start with all of your stuff, and you get to upgrade all of your weapons like so many times that even like 2 straight playthroughs, you won't even get like every upgrade or even close.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to play a lot of it. Although that was pretty fun. I did like the remake,
Okay, that's fair.
but the other games, like this third game, is really good. I'm surprised they haven't remade that.
Because they only ever remade the first one, right?
Yeah,
If I'm
I
ever...
don't know. There's so much Ratchet and Clank, and they haven't like upgraded them or booted them to modern consoles, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think there was like the
For the most
HD
part.
collection on PS3, but I think that was it.
Yeah, pretty much. Same with Sly Cooper. You can't really. There's no remakes or anything for that,
Yeah.
which is really unfortunate. There really should be a way. They should really remaster these games, I think, in collections.
I agree. Or at least do it again.
Jack and Dexter. Jack and Dexter is just a boot. Is a or what do they call it? A port. It's just a port to modern consoles.
Yeah. Like, it wouldn't take much, just up-res it, put it in widescreen, call it a day. Maybe bump the frame rate to 60 FPS.
I'd like that.
That's all
That'd
you
be
need.
really cool. That third game though, of Ratchet and Clank is fantastic. That's the best one.
One of these days, I'll find a way to play. I'm going to play the original, like the first one, when I go back and try that franchise again. I'm not doing the remake again.
They're not related to each other. They're
I
all
know.
like standalone games. Okay.
Yeah. But the first game is before Johnny Test took over as the voice.
Really?
Yeah. It's Johnny
didn't
Test
know
and all
that.
the other ones.
Isn't Yuri Lowenthal
No.
one of the voices?
Well, maybe one of them, but
Who
he's
does
not.
he?
He's definitely not the main one.
I don't know who I'm thinking of.
I have no idea. I love Yuri Lowenthal, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember any of his roles outside of Spider-Man that one time.
If we're talking just about games, he's in Persona 4. He's Yosuke.
You did mention that.
Such a shame he's not returning. The remake feels really bad.
Did they offer him to come back?
No, he said they don't want me. I begged, I pleaded, but they don't want me.
Mm.
And then a couple of the other
Yeah.
voice actors came out and said that they weren't being asked to come back either. That feels kind of bad.
Kind of lame, but yeah. What are they gonna do with Kanji? Do you think?
I assume he'll probably also get a new voice.
Do you think they'll revamp his story to be like
Oh, you know what?
modernized?
I don't know, because like I think it's a really good story, but I think
It is.
I could see people in today's society taking it the wrong way.
Yeah, I think even when I was playing it, I'm like, whoa, I'm surprised they got away with some of this.
Well, to be fair, the original came out. What was that like? That's still the PlayStation 2. So this is like what 2004.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think people would just kind of miss the point of his story, and they would just see all like the I guess like the stereotypes that his story talks about,
Yeah,
which is unfortunate.
I mean the game was fairly stereotyped
Well,
a
yeah,
bit.
but I'm just saying like for his
They're pretty
specifically,
good about it though. Overall,
I could see modern audiences taking offense to that story, even though I don't think it's offensive. I could see
hmm
I could see people being offended by it because we live in a
yeah,
society.
we do live in a society. Curses
Carr
society.
says, I didn't consent to live in a society. It was forced upon me. It all started on the
By my
day of my
father's.
birth.
It all started when I was born.
It's been downhill ever since.
Put up Squidward when I said that.
Okay.
Do you know why? Did you get the reference?
All right, could you say it again?
I said it all started when I was born.
I don't get the reference, unfortunately.
No. That's the episode where Squidward and SpongeBob fuse, and then at the end of the episode, all the main characters fuse.
What?
And then he's in like a therapy room, and he goes, "It all started when I was born," and it zooms out, and just everyone's body is like fused together.
Wait, that last bit sounds familiar. I don't remember the rest of that, but like I remember the last bit for some reason.
Mhm.
What season was that?
It was a scary episode. I want to say like 5, maybe 4 or 5.
Okay, that's probably why I don't remember it super well. I don't have a ton of memory from like anything past the first couple seasons. Like I said, I remember the karate episode.
Right. Well, I mean,
What?
I mean, if you haven't seen SpongeBob since it was still airing all those years ago,
Well, I think
hard
it's
to
still
remember.
airing.
No, I mean like airing those, like when those episodes were new.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, it's still airing.
Do you think a day will ever come when SpongeBob actually ends?
Yes.
Do you
Not
think
soon,
we'll be
not
alive
soon.
to see it?
I think so. I think we'll be alive to see The Simpsons and Family Guy and SpongeBob end.
The only reason why I think
Not
I'll be alive,
maybe not Sesame Street though.
I don't know. If anything, I feel like I'm kind of surprised Sesame Street is still on the air.
Really?
Not because I think
Why?
it's a bad show. I'm just surprised that given how short attention spans kids have these days because you know they're iPad babies, I'm surprised Sesame Street still pulls enough numbers to justify continuing to make it.
Okay.
And that's not like a
Definitely
diss at
make
all
numbers.
at Sesame Street.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what their numbers. Oh wait, wasn't there a whole thing about Sesame Street getting canceled or something?
What? Is there?
Sesame Street getting canceled? No. Wait. I don't know. There was a whole thing, and then like Grover sent out a tweet, and he's like, he's like trying to encourage the kids out there to keep growing or whatever. But then like his voice goes away, and he's just the actual guy talking,
I
and
don't
it's like it's almost scary.
I don't remember this at all, but that sounds awful.
I swear this happened.
Why would they do that? That just sounds like it would make kids sad.
Oh, it was canceled, but Netflix just picked it up.
Oh,
So it's not canceling.
okay.
So it's not
Netflix
done.
picked it up. That's kind of interesting.
Okay. Never mind. Do you think The Simpsons will end because they want it to end, or because it'll stop being popular?
I think it's because it's going to stop being popular.
I don't know. It's currently not popular. I
It,
mean, it makes money, but like it doesn't need to be that popular to still make money.
it's going to stop
So
being
I guess
made
I
once
really
it's
should be asking: Do you think it'll stop because they want it to stop, or because it will stop making money?
it's going to be because it stops making money, or at least stops making enough money.
Yeah. Okay.
And then they'll say, "Oh, it's because we decided it was time to end the story," but no, it's going to be because they weren't getting enough money. I have no doubt.
Yeah. Maybe. Could
Because
be anything at this point.
like at this point, like if it was going to stop because they wanted it to stop, it would have. I feel like it would have. They would have wanted it to stop by now.
I think you're right.